From not liking a black woman in Star Wars to hating any sort of representation in Lord of the Rings, fans can be the worst sometimes. But now, actors don't take it sitting down. Josh Gad has had enough of the Little Mermaid backlash. The guy who voiced Olaf in Frozen is pretty woke. He's recently defended the Little Mermaid against criticism. Since Disney showed off their new Ariel for the live-action version of one of their most iconic princesses, people have been talking a lot about race. Yep, that's dicey, right? The character will be played by Halle Bailey, who's a super proud African-American woman known for singing in the band Chloe X Halle. Some people just can't get over the fact that a woman of color would be playing a traditionally white character. That just might be the understatement of the year. People were livid, even in this day and age. Can you believe it? Well, Gad can't, and he couldn't wait to defend Bailey, especially since the trailer for the movie was released and people really criticized it. On Twitter, the actor said that he couldn't believe people could still be so racist. He called the haters broken and sad because they're bent all out of shape because of the skin color of a made-up singing mermaid. He makes so much sense, right? So what brought this on, you might ask? Well, the trailer was bombed. The latest teaser for the film has been disliked over 3 million times on YouTube. That's horrible. The team put so much effort into it, and it's been in the works for a really long time. It was shown for the first time at this year's Oscars. After it was posted online, the haters came back to say they didn't like it. Everyone is entitled to their opinions, but this was just sad. And it isn't a coincidence that it always happens when a movie tries to show or celebrate diversity. Josh Gad is not the first Disney actor to defend the Little Mermaid actress. Her co-stars and other well-known people have spoken out in favor of her as Ariel. Jodie Benson, who's the OG Ariel, loves the direction that they're taking. She wasn't the only one who stood by the new Ariel. Melissa McCarthy inspired her to stand up for herself. The velvet-voiced angel has been learning to rise above the criticism. It can be daunting and intimidating to speak up and advocate for yourself at work, but she has help.
This last week has been super crazy for me, and I have seen all of your messages. That's a really fun question. I think my favorite song from The Little Mermaid was, of course, Part of Your World. So without her for 9 months was super hard. But we just coped by FaceTiming all the time.
McCarthy helped her work through her feelings of not being good enough on set. The veteran actress told her that she has to learn how to take care of herself.
Amazing, and she was so sweet and nice, and the fact that she has these crazy talented, creative kids, it does not. And I got reunited with them.
Bailey said that it was really cool to see McCarthy come onto the set and be so comfortable with who she was in her flesh and stand up for herself.
It's the character I play is kind of based on my mom. She's very optimistic, very happy. What are the odds that like 2 of us are in one room? We won't be made fun of.
But the sad truth is that racial comments have once again become the main topic of conversation, even though everyone should be focusing on the super amazing trailer. The movie is set to release soon, and while the backlash is still there, I think it'll do pretty well. While I agree that not all live-action movies are as good as the originals, that isn't even the problem here.
Become a human yourself.
Is that even possible?
It's what I live.
The outcry this time is clearly racist because a non-white actress was hired to play the lead role. It's because of people like these that YouTube had to take a stand. The service has since taken down the dislike counter. Even the comment section was filled with hate. Since people don't want to sound racist, they've come up with the most ridiculous arguments for why the original was better. The conversation got really heated when an obsessive Twitter user used an AI to replace Bailey's face with that of a white redhead, and then told worried fans that he would fix the whole movie when it came out. While nothing can compete with nostalgia, from Disney's point of view, it makes perfect sense to go back to their golden age, since their live-action remakes have made a lot of money at the box office.
I was online yesterday and someone compiled, like, I think one day I'll make a gospel album because it's like my love of God is combined within the music and I wouldn't be here without him.
Even though they don't have the same life, color, and expression as the animated versions, many parents will still take their kids to the movies movies to see these live-action versions, just for the nostalgia. The company is cashing in on what it knows will make the most money, just like it did in the 1990s with all of its direct-to-video sequels. By doing this, they're making billions of dollars, but are also getting caught up in heated cultural debates, where serious issues are talked about, along with silly things like singing mermaids and wishing stars. So people need to understand that diversity is super important. Try to put yourself in the shoes of a child who goes online to find out more about their favorite Disney character, but instead finds adults posting ranting manifestos about how melanin can't develop underwater. I mean, think of all the colored little girls out there who need strong, colored role models. It's important for those kids to see the diversity. Luckily, these haters haven't been able to take over the conversation. Parents are fighting back against the criticism by posting videos of their kids' excitement when they see a Disney princess who looks like them. After all, this movie was made for kids. Unfortunately, these debates can seem like they'll never end. When a classic story is retold with new details or characters, this kind of reaction is to be expected. The truth is that most of the stories we've grown up with were written for a very specific audience, back in a time when representation and diversity weren't a big deal. Pop culture is full of stories that could be told from a more progressive point of view if a different character told them. But if you believe what the critics say, there are a lot of nerds who just want their favorite stories to be left alone. These fans have to fight over and over again for their favorite franchises, because progressive filmmakers and writers keep putting women in the lead roles, or people of color in roles that white actors usually play. But when it's about stuff that doesn't even exist, like a made-up singing mermaid, who cares whether they're played by white or black actors? Well, the sad truth is that it bothers a lot of people. Even today, a certain group of people often complains that there is too much forced diversity in popular media. Some people think that the point isn't to make the universe more diverse and welcoming, but to push a woke ideological agenda. The Little Mermaid wasn't the only movie that had to go through this. A lot of other big franchises faced racist backlash too. In Obi-Wan Kenobi, Moses Ingram plays the evil Inquisitor Reva, but her first appearance in Star Wars hasn't exactly been a red carpet event. Since the start of the show, the actress says she has been getting a lot of racist and threatening tweets, especially as the character she plays was traditionally white and she's a woman of color. She didn't take any of the backlash to heart though. Plus, all her co-stars stood pretty firmly behind her and called out the toxic fanbase.
Star Wars universe?
It's crazy.
It's crazy.
It's crazy. It's crazy and it's fast. I feel like the last few days have been at like warp speed.
The same thing happened with The Lord of the Rings. In the spin-off series called The Rings of Power, some actors were subjected to relentless racism. These people were trying to bully Lenny Henry, Sofia Nomveta, and Ishmael Cruz Cordova, all because they played traditionally white characters. Sometimes movies and series don't even get made just because the makers fear backlash from die-hard fans. That's probably why we still don't have a black James Bond, and probably never will. Get on board, guys, it's 2023. Well, there you have it. That was all about Josh Gad addressing the Little Mermaid racist backlash.